Hey guys, welcome back to 1776 or Bust. So today we're going to do our finale on the Walther PDP. Now it's been out for a while. I know some people were complaining that I did such a late review, but unfortunately I got the gun late based on where I live in the state of New York. But one of the things that I have to say right off the bat is that this gun I was a little skeptical, not going to lie. I was a little skeptical about the Walther PDP. I didn't know if I was going to really enjoy shooting the gun because I felt like, and still kind of sort of feel that it's not necessarily the best offering from Walther. I think they could have done some minor adjustments to the frame, making it a little bit thinner in the back portion here. I mean, at the end of the day, did it really affect anything? It didn't. It didn't really affect anything, so I would say it's just a minor complaint. Overall, the PDP performed very well. Again, I'm very limited with ammo, so I only put 150 rounds through this firearm, and it was flawless, which I expected it to be because it is a Walther. I mean, overall, the gun performed phenomenally well. I really have no complaints about it whatsoever. There is one small issue that if you guys look right there, you can see it. That is going to be a little bit of an issue, but we're going to talk about that when I get to the tabletop, and we'll discuss what exactly happened there. It's kind of an interesting story, but Walther was really quick on the dime to fix it for me, which I appreciate. But overall, the PDP was a very good shooting firearm. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at some range footage, and then we're going to go right to the table. So stay tuned. Okay. Walther PDP, first shots. Holy shit, these sights are off. A little low, sights are off a little bit. Very off. Alright, so I'm using suppressor sights for my old Glock. Probably not a good idea because it is shooting low. Grooves are tight. Recoil doesn't feel too bad. Feels better than the PPQ. So that's a good thing. But yeah, definitely shooting low. But I think the sight's an issue. So it's not a big deal. We'll adjust. Alright, so now we got to see if I can get those shots to come a little higher and stay in the center. Got it that time. Yeah, that's I'll tell you guys, this PDP, very surprising. Recoil is minimal. It's definitely less than a SIG. I'd say it's maybe a little flippier than a Steyr, since I just got my Steyr behind it, and but it's good.
All right, guys, really welcome back to the table. As you guys can see here, this is a really nice looking handgun for a lot of different reasons. So the first thing I'm going to say is the sights I was using on it when I was shooting it were these. These are my actual, if I can zoom in on this, these are my Ameriglow Glock suppressor sights. Since these are Glock sights, you should be able to use them. However, they were sitting pretty high on this handgun, which made everything shoot low for me. And, it took a little bit of an adjustment, but once you get the adjustment down, you're pretty good to go. Now, you'll notice that on here, the sights have changed. These are actually Ameriglow made for the Walther PDP. Very nice. Again, I haven't shot with them, so I'm going to take this gun back to the range anyway and shoot with it because I did really enjoy the experience with it overall. Again, you can see, let's see if I can point it out to you here. You can see the significant height difference of the two. That's pretty significant, guys. If you don't think so, well, I'm sorry. But yeah, so you can see why that might have been shooting a little bit low there. Now, you're also going to notice that the plate cover here on the PDP is gone, and there's a reason for that. I was actually going to put an optic on here. However, I couldn't because this little guy, I don't know if I'll be able to zoom on this thing so small, but this little screw right here, as you guys can see, the head of that screw is completely stripped. I could not get this damn thing off of the plate. This one, no problem, came out, no issues. It was super easy. Come on, focus, you can do it, camera. But, yep, came out super, super easy, guys. No issues whatsoever. You could even see a little bit of blue Loctite on there. This one, they must have put about 17 gallons of Loctite on there because I could not get this damn thing off. So I stripped the screw, kind of got pissed, and decided to take a Dremel. And I wound up dremeling the cover around the screw because, again, keep in mind, if you get deep enough here, the screw will be sticking out a little bit from the frame or from the slide. So I was able to Dremel around it, chip away at some of the plastic here because this is plastic, and was able to then take a needle nose plier and take the screw and unscrew it. So I did reach out to Walther. I did tell them what had happened. They took my information and are sending me a replacement plate, which is very nice of them. Again, a little pissed off that it happened in the first place, but I guess it is what it is. Now, let's talk about the overall shooting experience of this firearm. So for those of you out there who are fans of Walther, you're going to really enjoy firing this firearm. It is really good. I'm extremely surprised that I was going to like it as much as I did. It is a very accurate firearm, much more accurate than me. And recoil-wise, it definitely has less recoil than the PPQ. I mean, the PPQ is definitely one of those guns that is a little bit snappier than others. But I definitely felt with this firearm in particular, this gun did not really feel like that kind of snappiness that the PPQ has. Now, is it a higher recoiling gun than, let's say, the Steyr? Yes. Than the Glock? Yes. But is it as bad as, let's say, a SIG? Absolutely not. It is very controllable, very low recoil compared to a SIG. So I'd give it kind of like a middle-of-the-road mark on that, but still very manageable and very controllable. The trigger on this thing is leaps and bounds better than a PPQ. I never thought I'd say it, but it is. It is much smoother on the take-up, very definitive wall right there, and then it's just a really nice clean break on there. The reset, I can pull that slide back a little bit more. The reset is much more controllable. It actually does not have that really forward push like the PPQ did, and I have to say it is an improvement on the trigger. There's no doubt. No slipping of the hand. The texturing was great. So the serrations on this firearm are actually very good, very, very usable. Again, it is amazing just how deep the serrations on this slide really hit the hand. I mean, they are fairly sharp, but I mean, they're so easily able to be manipulated. Now, one of the interesting things is obviously I have not put a sight on here. I have to figure out what screws will fit. But one of the things I did notice is that the cut is very deep into the slide. I do have the plate from Walther, which they sent. You just have to kind of order it from them, and then they send it to you. But you are going to notice that when you put the plate on there, just like that, if I can get it to work, it does take away some of that cut in there. So it's going to be interesting to see how high it sits. I'm also going to be interested to see if there's going to be good co-witnessing here. So eventually I will do a video on that at some point where I show you the dot on this thing and just kind of give you an idea of what my thoughts are in regards to co-witnessing on the sights. But we'll see. That video is coming next because I do have to kind of represent Ameriglow here because they did send these to me, which was pretty sweet. So I'll be updating that video as well. I mean, overall, it's a good gun. If you're a Walther fan, and if you guys know the good Walthers, PPQ, P99s, the PPS M2, M1, I mean, those are really good, solid Walthers. Hell, even the Creed was a good Walther. Hell, even the PPX was a good Walther, net, come to think of it. So, I mean, they just have a plethora of really good firearms and a very good history, with the exception of the CCP. But I think overall, if you guys are Walther fans, you're going to love this firearm. It is an improvement over the PPQ. Maybe not necessarily the prettiest gun, maybe not necessarily the thinnest gun or the lowest sitting firearm, but I think nonetheless an improvement. If you're not necessarily a huge Walther fan, you're not going to like this gun no matter what I say. So it's really going to be for those of you out there who are looking for something a little bit newer, a little bit different, who are definitely Walther fanboys and girls. And, somebody who maybe just wants to try out the firearm. Is it going to be for somebody who is going to want something so groundbreaking that they have to buy this firearm? No, it just doesn't fit that criteria. But I don't think any real firearm does anymore. I mean, they're basically all the same when you think about it. But I have to say, this is really surprising, but this PDP is pretty damn good, guys. I would definitely recommend it just from what I shot, as minimal as it was. it really shot well, and it was a really good firearm in regards to recoil, just the ergonomics, and just the sight picture, even though it was a little off. So leave those comments down below. Tell me what you think about the PDP. If you own one, what have been your experiences with it? And, again, leave some comments, thumbs up, whatever. Subscribe to the video, buy some merch. That'd be great. And hope you guys have a great night. Stay safe. And as always, freedom is never free.